kind of give us a little bit of a, a relative summary or a overview of kind of what your message was in your first one, which was turning
Tragedy into Triumph.
Tragedy into Triumph.
So long story, but I got back my brain, obviously, went back to school, got a master's, and did my doctoral work studying people who had gone through extreme traumas. But my focus was on those who had done well. So I wanted to know not only why, but how did they come from the depths of that to, over time, master their fate. And so it was very interesting, and I had created a word before that called metahab, or metahabilitation, because I didn't like rehab. Thought that's way too small.
Yeah.
That's just going to baseline. People blow past baseline a lot. And so I created this word metahab, and I love it when I was reading some of J.K. Rowling's work, he did.
Oh, yeah.
And his wife, in an interview said, words are not beautiful because of the way they look. They're beautiful because of what they mean. So meta, going above and beyond, habilitation, restoration, is a new kind of rehab system that I pulled together, and I interviewed a bunch of people who had done some amazing things and realized they did things not overnight, but over time. And there were definite stages that they would go through. So I identified 6 stages of metahab. I identified different characteristics of the metahabilitated survivor and facilitating conditions. And so that's part of my first book.
Sure.
Is turning tragedy into triumph, going over that concept of metahab, the research behind that, the stages behind that, and then how can you implement that clinically. And then
very cool. Yeah.
The second book is really more expanded, because my first book came out probably a decade ago. So I've done some more research, I've had a sabbatical, I've looked at secondary and vicarious trauma survivors, I looked at communities' responses to trauma, and you really do see that there are opportunities in the midst of this tragedy. That again, people over time, they go through bad stuff. There is no, I say this to, like I work with veterans or, people that go, I wish I could tell you, you will not be depressed or grieve, but I can't. But here's what I can tell you. That is an expected part of the healing process. You understand? That's part of the process. So I'm going to leave you there because you got to deal with that, but we're going to come back and get you. Because now you got to move.
Yeah.
And so that's, so the second book really does go into a lot of, not only the whole metahab, but really expands much more on that. And also the notion of post-traumatic growth, which is not my term. It's Tedecchi and Calhoun, Lawrence Tedecchi and Richard Tedecchi and Lawrence Calhoun, who coined that term, post-traumatic growth. And so we kind of looked at what brings people ultimately and over time to be able to experience that very special place.
And do those people usually do it alone, or do they do it with the advocacy and guidance of, their own community of people or practitioners?
Oh yeah, no. They can tell you, and this person helped me, and this doctor helped me, and this physical therapist did this, and this person did this, and they definitely, first of all, it's no fun to do it alone.
No.
Second of all, you cannot do it alone because you need people there, because there's times when you're like, I can't do this, and people, you got this?
Yeah.
Let's move on.